The heart of Blue Lock, a genius in terms of adaptability, visual prowess bestowed upon by the gods, the one who dethroned the king. Here's the story of Isagi Yoichi, an underdog done right. Just a child with a dream to become the best, like any other kid who loves the game of soccer. Isagi starts his story out by losing in the Saitama Prefectural Finals. After the heart-crushing defeat, he thought his dreams would only be just that, a dream. But then a miracle came. He receives a letter from the Japan Football Association, inviting him to a player improvement project known as Blue Lock, created by the genius named Jinpachi Ego. The goal of the project is to create the best striker in the world. Ego proposes to the players of Blue Lock a philosophy purely based on ego, where if you are chosen for the last possession in the World Cup final and the host of the entirety of Japan lies on your shoulders, you take the shot without hesitation to become the hero of your country. A soccer where you are the main actor and everyone else on the field are just a supporting cast. Hearing those words made Isagi shiver, but had ignited a flame that was slowly but surely spread like wildfire. There are 300 players in this project. Isagi is ranked 299th, placing him second to last. He gets placed in a room with 11 other members. The game they will have to play is tag. The rules of this game is simple. 136 seconds on the clock. The player with possession is it. Whoever is it when the time runs out will be eliminated from Blue Lock. Oh, and did I mention that if you lose in Blue Lock, you will be permanently banned from playing for Japan's national team. With only a minute left on the clock, Isagi is it. After missing a shot, he comes to the conclusion that everyone is in top-notch condition and he should go for the lowest ranked player, Igarashi. While Igarashi is vulnerable, Isagi approaches him and comes to the realization that whenever he wins, there's always someone who loses. With that in mind, here is where his egotistic path starts. He notices something about himself. His plan was to always run from the danger. By going for the lowest ranked player, Igarashi, he realized that nothing about him would change. So he changes his mindset and goes for those who are stronger than him. Later on, with only under 5 seconds left, the ball lands on Isagi again. He goes for the strongest among all, Ryusuke Kira. With 2 seconds left, Isagi aims and hits Kira in the head, and as the clock hits 0, Kira is it. Ending Kira's football career, Isagi is questioning himself. Why did I do that? Why did I kick it? But yet, he is feeling rather pumped than guilty. With Kira being eliminated, there are 11 people left, thus making the team that will be formed as Team Z. The first match of the first selection is between Team Z and Team X. The score gap is large, with Team X making it 5-0. Only having 3 minutes left, Bachida tells Isagi that it's impossible to come back, but they can score a goal. Bachida baits as much defenders as he can, leaving Isagi in a more lonely area of the field near the goal. He sees it that it's just him and the goalkeeper, or so he had thought. The self-renowned King Baro stands before him. Isagi tenses up, but hears 2 of his teammates, Kunigami, who is being guarded by one person, and Raichi, who is free. Isagi passes to Kunigami, and thanks to the assist, Kunigami scores Team Z's first and only point of the match. Time's up, and the victor has been decided with Team Z losing to Team X in a blowout 5-1 loss. Due to not being able to take the shot, Isagi questions himself. Am I a failure as a striker? Next match, Team Z versus Team Y. This was the match where Isagi had found his weapon. The match has started. Fast forward to the second half. While waiting on the corner kick, Isagi has a premonition about Okawa, but couldn't figure out what to make of it. That premonition was Team Z's first chance to attack. Isagi decided to trust his instincts and head out of the box. Isagi catches onto something. Nico has always been the one to start the play. With that in mind, Isagi's true premonition was not for Okawa. It was the core for Team Y, Nico. With that in mind, and stopping the would-have-been counterattack, Isagi heads to the goal. He shoots but gets blocked by Nico. Not to worry though, because Gagamaru comes behind it and scored, tying the game 1-1. It's Team Y's ball. They attempt to pass to Nico, but Isagi is there to negate it, after knowing that every play is going to come back to Nico. This is Isagi's main weapon, his vision. But Team Y wasn't done. They had one more trick up their sleeve, a one-shot kill counterattack, where the entire team is 100% in on it. It's just Nico and Lemon, but Nico passes to Okawa, throwing the goalkeeper off, but the pass never made it, because Isagi caught back up and intercepted the pass. Isagi saw it coming the whole time. So, Isagi passes to Kunigami, Kunigami passes to Bachida, and Bachida crosses it to Isagi.
Isagi Yoichi! 俺もストライカーだ!
And Isagi scored the game-winning goal, thus beating Team Y 2-1. After the game, Isagi walks to Nico, who was crying, and stares at him as it feels good crushing his dreams. It was time for Isagi to face his biggest challenge yet, Team V. Fast forward through the match of Team Z and Team V. After being down 3-2, Isagi sees that thinking about taking a shot is like opening a door for the defender to contest. He's trying to come up with a way to use his spatial awareness to his advantage for a shot. Chigiri ties the game 3-3, and Nagi takes back the lead. After Kunigami ties the game 4-4, Isagi finally figures out how to work his spatial awareness. Noticing how his plan for the wave attack worked exactly as he had planned, Isagi now has the ball. It's his last chance to score a goal. He sees that Chigiri, Bachida, and Kunigami are the ones who can get the ball rolling. He passes it to Bachida. Bachida passes to Isagi, and Isagi passes to Chigiri. Chigiri passes it back to Isagi, but he changes his route to free himself. Everything is going as predicted. Only 2 defenders left. Isagi passes to Kunigami. Zentetsu knocks the ball out of Kunigami's possession. Raichi recovers the loose ball and passes it to Bachida. Isagi comes up with a plan that guarantees he'll be left alone that will give him a good shot. Bachida passes to Isagi, but Nagi is there to stop him. Isagi's goal scent disappears, but Isagi has that dog in him, finally connecting the dots that his formula of spatial awareness ability plus a direct shot equals a goal. With that in mind, Isagi doesn't trap the ball, but instead takes the shot, and Team Z beats Team V 5-4 in a heated battle. Being second in the 5th stratum, Team Z clears the first selection. The second selection is divided up into 5 different stages. The first stage is an individual battle where it's just Isagi and the goalkeeper. Isagi clears the first stage. Now on to the second stage, where it starts out as a team of 3. First team to 5 goals win. Win a game, win a teammate from the opposing team, lose a game, lose a teammate from your team, and go back to the previous stage. Isagi chooses to go for the top 3. Isagi scores and blocks Ren, but ultimately loses. After Bachida gets chosen, Isagi gives himself a new mission: to win without Bachida, to fight even if it's by himself. Next match is a 2v2 against Baro and his former teammate, Naruhaya. The score is tied 4-4. The next goal ends the match. Isagi begins to think intensely. Like Naruhaya had copied Isagi's direct shot, Isagi copies Naruhaya's off-ball movements to get past Baro and score. Baro gets chosen and is back to square one. Back to the team of 3s. It's Isagi, Nagi, and Baro versus Chigiri, Kunigami, and Ryo. During the match, Baro is hard to work with, but Isagi tries to create a chemical reaction that involves him, Baro, and Nagi. He comes to the conclusion that it's not about fighting a chemical reaction with Baro. He actually needs to devour Baro. Isagi uses Baro as bait to slip into the opposing team's blind spot. Isagi scores, and just like that, he has shattered and dethroned the king. Baro is stopped by Chigiri, but passes to Isagi, forced to realize that Baro is no longer the main actor on the field. Isagi is. Isagi ties the game 4-4, completely devouring Baro. Fast forward through the match, Baro has the ball once again. He sees that Nagi and Isagi are showing him a vision of a goal. He's about to pass, but he stops himself. He doesn't want to see himself as someone who watches someone else steal the spotlight, so he charges forward. Baro has now awakened, beating Kunigami, getting past Ryo, and using Isagi as a barrier to cover his movements to bypass Chigiri. It's only Baro and the goalkeeper now. Baro now takes a new role. If Isagi and Nagi are the main actors, then I will devour the light and be the villain if I have to. Baro scores the final goal, and the trio now adds a 4th, Chigiri. The stage is set, a rematch with Ren. After Ren ties the game 1-1, Isagi notices that he could understand Ren's movements, something that he couldn't do in their last match. Isagi knows he can evenly fight Ren with Nagi, but that's not what he wants. He wants to he needs to beat Ren on his own. Halfway through the match, Ren and Isagi are trading blows. Due to Ren noticing things faster than Isagi, Ren slips out of Isagi's reach, but Isagi might have came up with a way to beat Ren. A couple of plays later, Shigiri crosses to Isagi and Ren is there to stop him, but Isagi outsmarts him and scores on him with a back heel shot. With that goal, Isagi has even outsmarted the likes of Ren, the #1 ranked Blue Lock player. Moving forward, Bachida makes a very impressive effort to score, but Isagi is there to block it by figuring out that Bachida would take the shot instead of passing as per usual. Here is where things took a turn for the worse, where all of the efforts were in vain. It was a loose ball, and the ball randomly, mercilessly, cruelly descended upon his victor. Ren scores the destined last goal and Team Red wins. With this loss, who will Ren choose? Well, the only player in Blue Lock to give Ren a taste of defeat, Isagi Yoichi. Now on to the third selection, where the teams who passed the second selection face off against the World Select players. Isagi and Ren's team lose 5-1 with Ren scoring the only goal, but they were bound to lose either way. The real goal of the match anyway was to pick members for the Japanese team for the U20 World Cup. We're on to the selection for the Blue Lock 11. There are 35 players at this point. Off rip, the top 6 are Ren, Shido, Kurasu, Otoya, Yukimiya, and Nagi. The top 6 will separate into pairs in descending order. The remaining players will choose which team they want to join. Each of the 29 players will only have one chance to prove themselves. Isagi chooses Team A, that holds the top 2 players in all of Blue Lock, Ren and Shido. The first match is Team A and Team B. During the match, Shido selfishly interrupts Ren's shot. Isagi comes to the conclusion that Ren and Shido aren't compatible at all, and with that, he finds a way to be useful in the match. Down 4-2, Isagi feels like his purpose is to help link Shido and Ren to win the game. Later on, while it's only a minor play, Isagi steals the ball from Ren by slipping through his and Kurasu's blind spots. He sees a chance for a goal, but he misses Hiyori's pass by a hair. Hiyori gives Isagi some advice. He tells him to move before thinking. He tells Isagi to do his process of seeing to thinking to moving in reverse. Near the end of the match, Isagi has the ball. With a triangular passing formation from Ren, Nanase, and Isagi, the trio gets past Kurasu and Otoya. Isagi passes to Hiyori, predicting that Shido and Ren will make a beeline to the goal. He becomes conflicted, but decides to ditch his normal way of thinking and just move. Hiyori crushes the ball. It can now fall in the hands of either Ren or Shido, but the ball lands on neither of them. Instead, Isagi is the one to break through them and score, giving Team A the victory, and thus in the moment surpassing Ren and Shido at the same time. This is the first time Isagi Yoichi has gained flow, the immersive state of total aggressive focus. The games are over and the trials have now been concluded. It is now time to decide the Blue Lock 11. With an average of 2.5 goals per game, the team will be centered around Ren in an aggressive, offense-oriented formation. Gagamaru is the goalkeeper, Nico and Aryu as the 2 center backs, Shigiri for right side back, and Bachida for left. Kurasu for defensive midfielder, Otoya and Yukimiya for the 2 wings. Nagi is one half of the offensive midfielders, and last but not least, the only person to coexist with Ren, bringing out his best stats and having enough talent to surpass him. As an ideal partner for Ren, the last piece for the team is none other than Isagi Yoichi. Isagi has now been chosen as a regular. He vows to reach his flow and score a goal that only he is able to score. The Blue Lock 11 has now been decided, and now the stage is set. The game to determine the future of Japanese soccer is about to start. Bachida gets the ball and crosses it over to Isagi, but Japan U20's captain Aiku knocks it out of bounds. Isagi chooses Aiku to be the one he plans on devouring. It's Blue Lock's ball and it's Otoya's time to strike off the ball. One of the side backs for U20, Moroku, guards him and completely shut off Otoya's off-ball movements. Ren passes the ball to Isagi, and Isagi passes it to Yukimiya, who's matched up against Neru Teppei. Due to the speed of Teppei, Yukimiya can't get past him and loses the ball. The ball heads towards Nagi. Kazuma challenges him, negating his trapping skills with brute force. With Kazuma stopping Nagi in his tracks, Aiku comes in to swipe the ball away from Nagi. The 4 defenders are known as the U20 Japan team's Iron Wall Quartet. Aiku passes to the pride and soul of Japan, the genius Sei. Shigiri steps up to the plate and Sei passes to one of the forwards, Kento. Kento passes to Kitsune, and Kitsune passes it back to Sei. Sei is open, but Nico appears to stall him enough time for Shigiri to catch up. Sei plays a live pass to Sendo. He shoots, but Gagamaru blocks the shot. Sei is instantly gunning for the loose ball. Almost out of bounds, Sei shoots a risky shot and scores the first goal of the game. Not too long after, Machida crosses it to Ren. Ren worsens his shooting angle to copy Sei but gets blocked. Yukiya grabs the ball, shoots, but Aiku is there to block the shot. For the fourth time in a row, the ball lands in the hands of Blue Lock. This time it's Naki, who fakes a shot to create another shot and scores, evening the game 1-1. The job's not done yet. The two brothers face off. Sei eventually gets past Ren and attempts to pass to Sendo, but Karasu steals it. He then passes to Atoya. Atoya and Karasu make it a quick 1-2. When Aiku joins in, Karasu passes to the Gareth Bell of Blue Lock, Chigiri. Chigiri uses his speed to vertically bypass Aiku. Chigiri attempts to cross it to Karasu, and out of nowhere, Sei deflects the pass. Ball lands on Ren, and here's Aiku once again standing in the way of Blue Lock from scoring. Ren fakes the pass to Isagi and shoots a curveball with his left foot, scoring and taking the lead, making the game 2-1 in Blue Lock's favor. Thanks to Nico's tackle, Kento's shot was limited and it was saved by Gagamaru. Sei has the ball. He goes through Machida and Isagi and crosses it to Sendo, but Ren clears the ball. Sei has the ball again and shoots his shot. Thanks to his lengthy legs, Aryu is able to block Sei's shot, and with that save, Blue Lock has the lead at halftime, 2-1. It is now second half. A familiar foe and an unfamiliar presence appears. The U20 team subs in Shido Ryusei. Sei passes the ball to Shido and Shido dishes it to Sendo. Sendo passes it to Sei, and just like that, the U20 team are already at the penalty area. Sei instantly, almost like he's moving without thinking, crosses the ball with an outside spin to Shido. Shido sets up the shot, but Nico fouls him to stop him from scoring. A free kick point opportunity is at hand for Shido. Shido fakes it. Sei takes the shot, but wait, it's not a shot, it was a pass to Shido by Sei. Shido scores and ties the game 2-2. Nico and Shigiri are hurt, so Ryo and Hiyori comes in for them. Waiting for his moment to shine, Isagi attempts to shoot, but Aiko is there to stop him. Seconds later, Ryo instantly copies what Aiko did at the start of the game. With Shido scoring another goal to take the lead, the king himself enters the match. Instantly, Baro steals the ball from Blue Lock, gets past two defenders, and with an impressive push like this, it all goes to waste as he is unable to score. Later on, Yukiya has the ball and is using his street ball-like dribbling style. He splits through both the offense and defense to shoot, but gets blocked by Aiku, who has reached flow. Aiku stops Ren, and the ball lands in the hands of Sei. Sei passes it to Shido, and Shido attempts to score. Gagamaru thinks Shido will shoot low, but is sorely mistaken. Does that mean Shido scores? No, because Gagamaru makes an outstanding handstand block. Ryo clears the ball by copying Nagi. Isagi passes the ball to where only Nagi can control it. Nagi back passes it to Isagi after Isagi uses Kazuma's blind spot to his advantage. Sei is there to interfere. Isagi is denied once again. Sei knocks him off balance, but Isagi is still able to pass it to Ren, or so he had thought. Aiku is there being a great annoyance once again. But it's not Aiku nor Ren who gets the ball. It is Baro, who steps in despite having two defenders on him, scores, tying the game 3-3. And with 15 minutes left in the game, who would win? With that goal, has Isagi found the missing piece to winning the match? Sei crosses to Aiku, but Ren is there to stop the pass. But the pass was actually for Shido. Isagi finally makes a play using reflex by predicting Shido would be involved in the fake across to Aiku. With Ren not being able to lose to his brother in peace, an unknown emotion rose from the depths of Ren's soul. Ren steals the ball from Hiyori and realizes that the one who needs to be beaten is not Sei, it's himself. With Ren's rude awakening, he gets past some of the U20 team by using their own strengths against them. He only has one defender left now, Aiku. Shido steps in to help. With Aiku and Shido in front of him, Ren still shoots the ball and hits the goalpost. It is now the final minute of this intense match. Sei gets the ball and the fate of the match comes down to the last play. He alone gets past Isagi, Baro, and Nagi. In this destruction caused by Sei, Isagi's putting the final pieces together. And the final matchup of the game is like watching Dante and Virgil go at it. A fated duel between those of the same blood. A battle between an awakened Ren and Sei. Ren and Sei go at it. Finally, Ren wins the 1v1 with a slide tackle to kick the ball away from Sei. The ball flies gracefully in the air over Aigu and lands in the one who will put an end to the match. The ball randomly, mercilessly, cruelly descended upon his victor, Isagi Yoichi. Isagi shoots the ball and scores, putting an end to the Japanese U20 team, with the score being 4-3. Isagi scored the goal by using Aiku's blind spot, believing that Ren would beat Sei and having the ball come to him by coincidence. And in the words of Aiku, Isagi invited his own luck. After the match, Isagi is interviewed and asked about what his goals are from now on. Isagi replied, "Blue Lock will win the U20 World Cup. We will..." No, that's not quite right. "I will lead Japan to victory in the U20 World Cup." Isagi is now the savior of Japan's football. Alright, I'm going to end the story off right here because the Neo Egoist arc is still only in the beginning. We're in the second match, but I will say Isagi has acquired metavision, that is a vision that stands above all, and has now applied egocentrism to predict people's movements faster, and is working alongside his hero, Noel Noah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you've seen this video, if you watched it all the way through, if you enjoyed, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. With that being said, I'm gonna see y'all later.